Welcome to Live DAF, your online DAF Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to today's DAF. Bava Metzia DAF Lamed Aleph. We are holding 5 lines off the top of the Amud, actually 6. Amar Rava. Although the pasuk provides a list of possible lost items, right? A shoyer, a chamoyer, a seh, a samo. However, says Rav, you should know, it doesn't just apply to mobile items, to metaltalin, to objects. Amar Rava l'chol, the extra words l'chol avedas achicha, that phrase comes to include even real estate. L'rabois avedas karka. So, if you see your friend's property about to be destroyed or damaged, you have a mitzvah to protect it. That's included in the mitzvah of Shavas Haveda. Amali Rav Chananya l'Rava. She tells Rava, I have a raya from a brisa to support your idea. Tanya de misayaloch. The brisa says, Ra'a mayim sheshoit v'nuboin. A fellow notices a flood coming. Hareze goy de b'fneim. He's meant to block it, board it off, divert the water from your friend's property. There you go. Hashavas Haveda. Even regarding karka. Armalei Rava responds, that wouldn't necessarily prove my point. Imisham haloi tesai. Why? Why can't this brisa prove Rava's point that Hashavas Haveda applies even to karka? Well, and perhaps this brisa is speaking where there are objects about to be flooded away. There are bundles of grain sitting on the field, and that's what you're trying to protect, and those are not karka, that's metaltalin, and therefore you have a mitzvah. But perhaps there is no Hashavas Haveda on karka. Asks the Gemara, well, if there are bundles lying there, remember, why does the brisa have to bring it up? I mean, obviously there's Hashavas Haveda if it's just a plain object. Answer is late tzricha, perhaps, was speaking. The is ba'imrin. Sure, there are bundles sitting on that farm, but they're not ready to be gathered. The tzricha la'ara. Apparently, they used to have them sit out in the field to dry up, whatever. They still have to sit on the ground. They still benefit from sitting on the karka. So perhaps I would say it relates to the karka. It doesn't have its own identity. Perhaps I would think, given the tzricha la'ara, since it still needs to sit on the ara, kigufa the ara damyan, it's considered part and parcel of the actual land. It doesn't yet have its own independent identity, and perhaps even if there's a mitzvah of Hashavas Haveda, but not regarding karka, not regarding something which relates to the karka. Kamash Malan, so perhaps that's the point of the brisa. Perhaps there is no Hashavas Haveda on strictly karka, but here, since it is a bundle, so although it's still being serviced by the karka, but ultimately it's its own thing, and therefore there's a Hashavas Haveda. So bottom line is, Rava does tell us a chiddush that Avedas karka is included in Hashavas Haveda, but the brisa wouldn't necessarily prove that point. Okay, let's go back to the Mishnah. If you take a close look at the wording of the Mishnah, it's going to be a bit difficult to understand. The Mishnah set forth what is considered a lost item, what is considered an animal in danger of being harmed or damaged, which triggers the mitzvah Hashavas Haveda, and what's considered, a picture of an animal just walking at leisure, which doesn't require your intervention. So if we look at the Mishnah, Hogav Ukash, we're going to have something difficult. First we say, Amras, if he notices a donkey, a cow, just walking along calmly on the road, that's perfectly fine. That's not a lost, that's not something that you need to go and get involved with, right? So as Rashi points out, Tarti l'mal yusa, we have 2 pluses, 2 positive elements. First of all, it's just walking along, as opposed to running wildly. So walking is one positive element. Number 2, location. It's walking on a road. It's not walking between the trees, between the vines, which might harm the animal or harm the vineyard. So when you have both positive elements, you're okay. leave it alone, right? Royin, first of all, it's walking at leisure. Baderach, on the road, in a safe place. Hu de loyhavu aveda, that's when it's not an aveda. But let's say it only has one positive element together with one negative element. Ha, ratza, it's running, which places it in danger. But it's baderach, on the road. So one positive, one negative. Or v'roya ben akramim. It's walking calmly, but between the vines, which can harm it. So again, one up and one down. That is sufficient to constitute aveda, havi aveda, and you have to get involved and right. So one element is enough. Emosefo. Let's proceed to the next part of the Mishnah. Only when you have both negative elements do we say you have to intervene. Otherwise, not. Chamar v'kelev afuchim. Notice a donkey with its equipment upside down. Or upara ratza ben akramim, a cow running, number one, running in danger, and where? Between the vines. There we say harezu aveda, because you have both precarious elements. But if it's only one, it's okay. Ratza ben akramim hudav aveda. Running between the vines, so both factors, that makes it an aveda. But let's say it's only one haratza, it's running, but it's baderach on the road. Or veroya, walking at leisure, ben akramim, between the vines. In both these cases, Einzoi Aveda. So how does this work? We know two positive elements is okay. Two negative factors is an Aveda. What about one up and one down? We have a stira. It's a pasuk in Eiv. We can sort of draw a parallel. Figure it out on our own in a way which reconciles everything. What does that mean? The main thing is the style, the manner in which way it's moving. Running dangerously or walking calmly. That's the determinant factor. Tana roya baderach. Do they have aveda? Because the Mishnah explains that if it's walking along on the road, right? So walking at leisure is okay. That's not an aveda. V'adin l'roya ben akramim. And likewise, if it's walking between the vines, walking calmly is okay. On the other hand, Tana ratza ben akramim have aveda. Then it says, well, if it's running, that's a problem. Between the vines, that's a problem, because running is the issue. Likewise, if it's running on the road. The main factor is running or walking. That's Abaye's opinion. If you're going to work with this system that one reveals the other, basically, that it's all about how it's walking. If it's walking, it's okay. If it's running, it's not okay. Listening kilta, chamirta. Why did the Mishnah structure itself this way? It should inform us of the lesser precarious case and tell you that's an Aveda. And certainly, of course, we will figure out on our own when it's more precarious. It certainly is an Aveda. What does Rava mean? Listening ratza baderach Aveda. If the whole point is the manner in which way it's walking, then the Mishnah should have said, look, if it's running, even on the road, that's an Aveda. And of course, the koshken ratza ben akramim. Of course, I would figure out on my own if it's running between the vines. We have that added element of danger. Of course, it's an Aveda. On the other hand, we're listening roya ben akramim lo have aveda. The Mishnah should say, well, if it's just walking at leisure between the vines, walking is okay. That's not an aveda, which is a chiddush, despite the fact that it's between the vines. But walking along, that's okay. But kolshkin, of course, I would figure out on my own roya baderach if it's walking on the road. But the Mishnah did not choose to do it this way. The Mishnah structured itself differently. It told you sort of the lesser chiddush, that walking on the road is okay. Running between the vines is not okay. That's a lesser chiddush than having said it this way. It should have said running on the road is a problem. Walking between the vines is not a problem, which is a bigger chiddush. Elama Rava Ratza Ratza Lekash. Says Rava like this. No, you can't just, state absolutely that it's all about how it's running and how it's walking. It all depends on the situation. Ratza Ratza Lekash. Sometimes, even when the animal is just plainly running, so you have one factor, one precarious factor, it can be a problem. Sometimes not. Depends in which direction it's running. If it's facing the farms, the outlying areas away from town, that's a problem. That means it's on its way to get lost. But if it's facing back to the town, it's facing the city, then you know he's on his way back home. You're okay. Roya namali kasha. And likewise, when we speak about the animal just walking along at leisure, and we seem to have a contradiction, right? If it's walking along, between the vines, we seem to have a contradiction. Is it a problem or is it not a problem? Says Rava, it depends. Like kasha, kamba vedas gufa. What is the concern? The animal itself being harmed? Right? Or are we concerned about property damage to the vines? Kamba vedas karka. And the Gemara explains. When the Mishnah tells us that if it's walking along on the road, no vines in the area, then it's okay. But we have a diuk, an inference. If it's doing the same thing, walking along calmly between the vines, it's an aveda. That's when you're concerned about property damage. It might trample all over the vines. Ba'avedas karka. However, when it says only when it's barreling through the vines, then it's a problem. If it's just walking calmly between the vines, it's okay. That's when the concern is not property damage. The concern there is the animal's well-being. So there we say the ratza ben akramim misakva, v'roya ben akramim le misakva. If it's running through the vines, it can injure the pokey vines can poke the animal. But v'roya ben akramim le misakva. But if it's just walking calmly between the vines, it's not going to be harmed. It's not going to be scratched. So according to Rava, it's all a matter of context. Right? Let's go back. We had a seeming contradiction in the Mishnah. Do we need two negative factors to trigger concern, or is one sufficient? Abaye says it's all about the manner in which way it's moving. Running is a problem, walking is not. Irrelevant of where. Rava had a kasha on that. Rather, Rava says like this. Running, no matter where it is, can be a problem if it's facing away from the city. But if it's facing back, you're okay. And regarding the vineyard now, so if it's simply walking through the vineyard, that's not an issue regarding the animal's well-being, but it can be an issue regarding the property damage, if you're concerned about that. Asks the Gemara, okay, so v'roi ben akramim, it's calmly moving through the vineyards, but true, the animal is not going to be injured, but forget about the animal. Property damage, you have to protect the owner of the vineyard. B'dekusi, it belongs to a goy, that's not a factor. Well, the animal is still in danger because because the owner will kill the animal for rampaging through his vineyard. We're speaking about a location where they're more civilized. They first issue a warning to the animal owner, and then they kill. So you're not going to get to that point too quickly. But well, maybe he's holding at that point. Maybe the owner was already warned about his animal rampaging, and now at this point the animal is going to be killed on the spot. So you should go quickly say, well, says the Gemara, if that's the case, you don't have to interfere. It's the owner's problem. If they warn the owner of the animal, but they weren't careful, and they let the animal roam around, it's a willful neglect, and you don't have to worry about that. So basically we learn from the Mishnah that Hashavas Haved isn't a one-time event. You can return it and it gets lost again, you got to return it again, etc. etc. So certain Chacham turned to Rabbah. How do we know that? Perhaps when the pasuk says Hashev, it says Hashev Teshivim. Hashev means the first time, Chadazimna. Teshivim means Trezimna 2 times. That's it. You stop there. You don't have to return the same item 15 times in a row. Normally he said, no. Hashev, the word Hashev is numberless, limitless. Filu kuf pa'amim mashma could even mean 100 times. Now the word Teshivim teaches us as follows. Ainli el lebeis. You find the item, perhaps you're required to put it back in the person's home, safe and secure. What about putting it into his garden, into his abandoned home, where it's protected, but he doesn't necessarily see it on the spot? Talmud Leima Teshivim, the pasuk adds the word Teshivim, any type of chazor, any type of Shavas Aveda qualifies. Asks the Gemara, what exactly is going on in this property? Hey Chadam, if those locations are secure, Pshita, then obviously it works. You returned it. If they're not safe and secure, Amai, why are you fulfilling your obligation if you're just putting it in an unsafe area? You're right. It's a safe and secure place. So what's the Chiddush? The Chiddush is, you don't have to inform the owner. As long as you place it in a safe and secure place, eventually he'll discover it, and that's okay. Uktar Belezer, the Amar who tells us, Hakoil, all types of, a robber or a fellow who's entrusted with an item, you have to go and inform the owner, look, I'm giving it back to you, so he knows, to feed the animal starting today, going forward, but you have to tell him about it. You can't just slip it in and walk away. Hakoil tzrichen das balam, except chutz ma shavas aveda. Except by Shavas Haveda, you're not mechuyev, you're not obligated to wait until the guy knows and sees. You can just put it back and leave. Because in this pasuk, Hashet Teshivim, Torah is telling you, look, all forms of returning is enough. Now, the same idea with Shiloh Hakein, and then we move on to all types of other examples of repetitive doings and how many times, right, is required. Shalech to Shalach. This is speaking about Shiloh Hakan, right? So you send the mother away, you take the offspring. Ema, so perhaps, Shalech Chadazimna. Shalech means a single time. To Shalech means Trezimni. If they do it once, it comes back, you send it again, and you're done. Who says that it's an endless proposition? That was the same, Chacham who asked Rabbi this question. Amalei, they said the same answer. Shalach is limitless. Afilu me pamim mashma, even if it requires you to do it 100 times over. Now it says shalach to shalach, right? To shalach means that you can't take the offspring until you send away the mother bird. Perhaps it only pertains to personal use. So you can't take the offspring for personal use unless you do it in this manner. What if you need the offspring for a mitzvah, like for the birds of mitzvah? Who says you're required to follow this process? That's the point of the extra word. Under all circumstances, you have to follow this process. Once again, a Chacham approaches Rava with a question regarding admonishing somebody for doing something wrong. Right? So Yechiach means one time, Chadazimna. Techiach means a second time, Trezimni, but that's it. You don't have to keep on going at it. Armalesi says, no. Yechiach means Afilu Kupam Mashma, even 100 times over and over until you get it right. Now, when it says Techiach, Ainli Elah Harav Talmud, perhaps only a teacher to a student is obligated to set him straight. Talmud the Rabbi, what if a student notices something with his Rebbe that's out of line? Does he have to approach him? Even then, mikal mokeh. You meant to help your friend unload his animal if he's overloaded and needs help. So Azav Tazav Imay denotes that the owner is present. Perhaps only then are you obligated to participate and lend a hand. What if the owner is not present? Only his animal is overloaded. Perhaps since you're lacking that personal element, you're not obligated to step forward and offer assistance. A general expression, includes all situations. Here we're speaking about helping your friend load up his animal. Perhaps that's only when the owner is present and on site. What if the owner is not there? Comes the pasuk and says hakim takim. This repetitive expression includes all situations. Now, why does the Torah have to instruct us to help load and to help unload? Just say one, and we know the other one. Why does it have to say unload and also to load up? Aren't they both pretty much the same idea? Each one has a chiddush. The Torah only speaks about unloading. I would say because the animal is suffering. And the animal might die, right? The owner might lose out. So there, you have to step forward. Where he needs your help loading up, that's not so critical. There's no loss of value. There's no animal suffering. So perhaps it's not so critical. On the other hand, if the Torah would only say help him load up, because there you're getting paid. The Gemara later tells us you're allowed to get paid for it. But he needs help unloading, where he's not going to pay for that. Perhaps you're not obligated. That's why the pasuk stresses you have to help him load and unload as well. Now, according to Rabbi Shimon's opinion, then you don't get paid for loading up either. So we lost that, discrepancy between the two. Michael and Memar. So then, why does the Torah have to mention both? Right? Once we know you do one for free, the other one's for free too, so of course. Says the Gemara, you're right, Rab Shimon Misami Kroi. According to Rab Shimon, you have to explain differently. We're not sure what Azav, Tazav, and Hakim Takim mean. Which one means load it, which one means unload. So perhaps I would say, right, if I only say one, I would say, well, unload. Because Tzar B'Alachaim factor plays a role, but to load up, you wouldn't have to. And that's why the Pasuk has to mention both, to teach us both aspects. Ask the Gemara. So now we have basically a total of 3 mitzvahs pertaining to, helping out with your friend's possessions. Prika Te'ina, unloading, loading up, and returning a lost item. Why do we need all 3 in the Torah? Answers the Gemara Tzrichi, each one has a special, unique feature. The only Torah only speaks about loading and unloading animals, Mishum the Tzara Damar Isa, Tzara Dida Isa, because there we have 2 elements. This Tsar of the owner, he's standing there watching, helpless, so you're helping him out on a personal level, and also Tzara Dida Isa. The animal itself is also going through a hard time. Aval Aveda the Tzara Damar Isa, Tzara Dida Lesa. But when it comes to finding a lost item, the owner is missing, he's in distress, but the item itself is not really suffering much. So perhaps you're not obligated. Because if the Torah only speak about returning lost item, I would say over there, you're obligated to step in because there's no owner around to do his job. He has no idea where so therefore you're chayiv avol hani ta'artiv when it comes to helping your friend load or unload. The owner's sitting right there, let him hire some people. Who says you have to go? Perhaps you're not obligated. That's why Torah stresses a yid is a yid and comes to his friend's assistance in all situations. Loading or unloading his animals. We have another place where the Torah uses repetitive expressions. Mois yumas hamaka. A person murdered, he's meant to be put to death through the sayif, the sword method. Now, so perhaps you can only apply death penalty if you can successfully apply the specific form of misa, which pertains to that case. Perhaps he's in flight, you can't catch up to him, you can't kill him in that manner. So still, you should still pursue him and try to shoot at him with an arrow, get him in any way. Is that fair? Is that true? Yes. Any form of death is acceptable. Another example, Haketaka. We have a city who worshipped Avodah Zarah. Perhaps you can only kill them in the fashion that the Torah describes. Perhaps if you can't successfully apply that form of death penalty, what happens then? No, you still go ahead and try any form of death. That double lashon tells you any form is acceptable. Now we speak about a collateral, hashiv tashiv. Return it when the person is in need, when he has to go use it, right? At night, if it's a pillow, by day, if it's a day garment. So hashiv tashiv, return. What's the point of repeating it? So perhaps this chiyuv to return the mashkin only pertains when you got it through the bezdin. What if you took possession of the mashkin without the court's authority, right? Without the court's involvement? Do you have a mitzvah of returning the item when the owner is in need? The extra expression tells you it applies to all situations. And similarly, we have chaval tachbel, and that again is speaking about a collateral which you have to return, right? Occasionally, so the owner can use it. Chaval tachbel. So what's the repetition? Chaval tachbel. Again, the same idea. Perhaps it only applies when you took it with authority, with permission, mishkan shel b'rishus. But if you took it without the bezdin's involvement, how do we know that the same chiyuv applies? The repetition tells you that's all encompassing. So pretty much we have 2 psukim that are teaching us the same point. Hashiv tashiv and chaval tachbel. Why? Why do we need 2 psukim for the same point? One is to teach us that a day garment must be returned by day. One, that a night garment, pajamas, have to be returned that night. Now we have a mitzvah of tzedakah, where again the Torah uses repetitive expressions. Pasayach tiftach. Open your hands, open your heart, right? Pasayach tiftach. Why the repetition? Perhaps tzedakah only applies to local aniyim. What about dispensing tzedakah to the poor of other towns? Talmud Leimar Pasayach tiftach mikol makom. It includes that as well. Nosan titin. Again, this is a pasuk regarding tzedakah. Right? So what's the point of nosan titin? Why the repetition? Perhaps you're only chayiv in tzedakah if you can give a large donation. If you can only afford a small amount. So even a small donation is accepted. I just recently noticed in the paper there was a story of this inmate, a Jewish inmate in upstate New York, who sent a check to a kollel to donate for Limud HaTorah, and the check totaled $4.50, and the fellow added a note and he says, look, I make 17.5 cents an hour here in prison, that's what we get paid, and this is a full week's salary. This is what I can afford. Please take it, appreciate it, and this is just an expression of my adoration for your Limud HaTorah, which I want to support. Unbelievable. Matana mu'etes menayin tamloy menosan titin. Mikol mokem. Hanik tanik. So when the Jewish slave leaves you, you have to give him a goodbye gift, right? Ainly election is barach habayis begloli. Perhaps that's only because he was a successful eved who brought bracha and success to my home. Manikin, then he gets the special gift. What if he didn't bring much bracha in his wake? Menayin, perhaps I don't have to do that. Menayin, how do we know that I'm chayiv even there? Talmud Leimar, that's why the Torah repeats itself, Hanik, Tanik, Mikol Mokim, in all situations. But Rabbi Blaz ibn Azari Domar, he disagrees. He says, well, the gift is contingent upon the Eved's success. If there was blessing in the home on account of the Eved's presence, then he gets that parting gift. There was no bracha in his presence. He's not deserving of the Hanukah. So then the question is, Hanik, Tanak, Lamali, why does the Torah repeat itself? Dibra Torah, Kilosha B'nei Adam. So in lack of a better pshat, we just say, look, the Torah sometimes employs common expression, common language, but there is no actual halacha alluded to in this pasuk. That's the way people speak. They repeat themselves sometimes for emphasis purposes, but there is no halacha embedded in this pasuk. Havit havitenu. So once again, we go back to the idea of tzedakah, and havit refers to loaning money. Okay, so why the double expression havit havitenu? Perhaps it only applies to a case where a person is destitute. He has no resources, but he's too proud to accept gifts. He doesn't want to take, tzedakah. So there the Torah says, look, give it to him in an honorable way. Pretend to be lending it to him. Right? This way, he takes it as a loan. But, right? So there the Torah says, Amar Achmana tein lo derech halva. Protect his honor. Do it with respect. Give him derech halva as though it's a loan. But let's say yeshli, the person has plenty of resources, a wealthy man, but he's too stingy with himself. He just can't spend his money. What happens there? He has money, but poor fellow can't bring himself to spend his money. I mean, that's as poor as you get. He's poor in his attitude, right? So what happens there? How do we know that in that case as well, we're meant to step in and help him out, to relieve him of that emotional, constriction, and try to bypass his issues and lend him money. Yeah, you should lend this fellow money as well. And Rashi says, you'll get it back from his kids after he dies. So that's the pasuk. Tells you, well, don't think just because he's wealthy he should fend for himself. The poor fellow is not a healthy fellow, and you have to step in and give him a hand. Asks the Gemara Reb Shimon, but according to Reb Shimon's opinion, who says, no, in this case, have him fend for himself. You're not obligated to go and help him out. The Omar who says Yeshlo, if he has the ability, but if he refuses to spend his money to support himself, leave him alone. So then why does the Torah have to add the word Tabitenu? If this is not included, Tabitenu Lamli, once again the same as before, it's just a mode of expression, Dibra Torah Koloshim Bnei Adam. Okay, so a fellow who earns high salary, $100, $200 an hour, right? Question: should he go tend to this this lost item, which is barely worth a few, right? Should he give up that income? So the point is, he can't ask the owner of the lost item, look, I lost all that money, compensate me. He can't do that. Rather, he gets schare kepoil. He gets like a minimum wage. And the Gemara explains, Tana, we learned in a brayso, noisly schare kepoil bottle. He gets paid like a fellow who's doing nothing. What does that mean? My kepoil bottle. What does that mean? He's not doing nothing. I mean, he's troubling himself to pick up the item and go find the owner. It's work. It's not as as strenuous as bricklaying or diamond cutting, right? But why should he just get a token amount as though he didn't do anything? He did something. Amar Abaye, that's exactly what the Mishnah means to say. You drop it relative to the effort involved. So you compare. You match up. He's a bricklayer. Strenuous work. Makes $100 an hour. Right? How much would a person be willing to take a break? A 2-hour break from bricklaying, give up the bricklaying salary for 2 hours, and rather do something, more relaxing. Like picking up a basketball and returning to its owner. It's work, but it's much less strenuous. It's a break. Right? So that's how much he can demand. Right? So instead of $100 an hour for bricklaying, he'll be willing to accept $25 an hour to forego his bricklaying and be involved in something more relaxing for a short time. And that's how much he gets from the owner. But let's say he's not interested in giving up. He likes to lay bricks. He likes to make $100 an hour. He doesn't want to give up. It's not worth it. So if there's a bezdin in the area, you should approach the bezdin and say, look, Rabbi Yisai, this is the score. This is my expectations. Right? I want my $100 an hour. And then he can proceed and demand that from the owner. There was a story involving two people, Isser and Rav Safra. Avud. Iska Badada, they had this joint venture, business venture. Okay, and they bought merchandise, and came time, Rav Safra decided, I had enough, I want to split it up, and he took his portion and left. Also Rav Safra, Palagleble, died to the Isser. He split up whatever remaining merchandise they had, but died to the Isser, without consulting his partner, Isser, and he did it in front of Thu May Betri. This way, we know that it's honest, and, Also, come the Rabbi Baruch Hu, so it came to Rabbi Hu. Amalei says, look, Zil Isi Sadi, Tlasa, you can't just, dissolve the partnership like that. You need 3 people, 3 dayanim. Bring me 3 people, the Palgas Kamayu. Produce 3 people who were there when you made this estimate evaluation and dissolved the partnership and took your part of the merchandise. Or you can bring me 2 of the 3 people, or 2 Eidim, who will testify that you had this arrangement presented to 3 people. It's like a bezdin. You need 3 people. So Rav Safra responded to Rabbi who says that's required. I mean, who said I need 3 dayanim when I want to dissolve a business? Normally he says, look at the Mishnah. It's not. Im yesh sham bezdin masn b'fneim. Ein sham bezdin b'fneim yasn shloi koydem. Mishnah says, look, if you want to do some sort of monetary arrangement which pertains to another party, right? You need an authority. You need a bezdin. Like the fellow doing a Shabbos Haveda, you can't just, unilaterally just decide, okay, I'm going to get paid X amount. he has to have the approval of the Bezdin. And if there's no Bezdin there, we say Shaloi Koidem, he doesn't have to tend to the Aveda because he doesn't have to give up all that salary. So bottom line is, unless you have a Bezdin involved, you can't just go and make these arrangements. Amalei, so he responded, Midam, I could compare Hassan and Mafkum Maina. There I'm asking money, I'm demanding to get paid from the owner of the lost item, right? The Ma'abek Mamayna Mahai, we're taking money out of him, we're giving it to him. There we need the power of the Bezdin. But here, I'm just taking my part of the merchandise. Didi Shakli. I'm taking mine. I'm not asking him for money. It's just a question of being fair. Right? You have to just make sure that it's transparent. Fine, to betray Sagali. As long as you have 2 Eidim, that's enough. Teida, I'll prove that in this case, 2 is enough. This nan almana mecheresh lebebezdin. A widow who is still being supported from her husband's estate, so she's selling off the orphan's assets. She can do it without the Bezdin involved. Why? Because it's her right. It's her privilege. She's not asking somebody else for money. It's her. She's just accessing the assets for her support. As long as we have, 2 Eidim who can testify that she didn't just give away the store, right? She was being fair. That's enough. You don't need 3. Only Abai responds, but haven't we learned an explanation to that Mishnah? Rav Yosef, Bar Menyumi, Rav Nachman, Almana, true. She doesn't need an expert Bezdin. She needs 3 people. Not an extra special Bezdin, but she needs, 3 people, a Bezdin, Shaladyoites, ordinary people who can make a proper evaluation, determine the value of the items that she's selling, and allow it to sell it. Likewise, over here, you can't just go make this arrangement without 3 dayanim. Okay, let's recap today's daf. Mitzvah Shavas Aveda applies even to protecting your friend's property. An animal running sometimes can be an indication of precariousness, sometimes not. We find many instances where the Torah uses repetitive language, Hashav Teshivim, Mecheach Techiyah, Chakim Takim, Azev Tazev, Shalech Teshalach, etc., etc. Each one has its own chiddush. And we learned about how a person deals with giving up, his salary vis-a-vis Hashavas Aved. All the best to you, and Atzlacha Rabbah.